Hello everybody, I'm the Fiend of Grue, and welcome once again to an edition of the World of Horror. And on today's segment, I'd like to introduce to you a guest. This is Krazy J here. We're going to periodically do these reviews. You know, we may do a movie review, we may bullshit, we may talk about whatever. But today, we're going to talk about a movie that came out of Belgium in 1992. This is Man Bites Dog. And we both heard a lot about this film over the years. This was a shot-on-video film, and basically what it is, it's really easy to describe the synopsis of the film. What it is it's a documentary student film crew. They're shooting a movie of a serial killer as he does his exploits, as he goes about his daily business of killing postmen, killing homeless people, killing random people, busting into houses, killing people, and in between it shows him with his family and just goofiness, and it's a really wild movie. It's a dark comedy, entirely shot in black and white, and I think we were both highly impressed with this movie.
Yes. This is I heard about this movie too through various trading circles and stuff. And I'm a huge collector too, just like the Fiend is here. I love horror movies. I love them since I was 6 years old. And lately I've been collecting the harder to find stuff. And this movie in particular I'd wanted for a long time. So I was lucky enough to catch this at Horror Hound a few months ago. $5. I picked it up. This movie is awesome. It lives up to all the hype as far as I'm concerned.
It definitely does.
I mean, this movie is a very dark movie. I mean, but it's also comedic at the same time. Tonally, it's amazing how much it shifts back and forth.
Well, it starts off, you know, at the beginning, you know, it's one of the things we were talking about when we were watching. It's like, you know, I'm having a hard time accepting this guy as being a serial killer, because it is definitely more dark comedy at first than it is horror, you know, or just disturbing. I mean, it starts off, you know, and it sounds kind of sick, but it's just the way it's portrayed. He's talking about how much ballast it takes to sink a midget or a child, how much you have to use less than you do with an adult, and you have to use like 3 times their weight to fully sink them, because he puts his victims in like this dam. He shows them constantly drop them off into a dam. And I mean, like I said, that sounds crazy, but just the way it's played out, it's very comedic. And as the film goes on, it just continues to get more and more disturbing. I mean, some of the scenes in this I really couldn't believe. And we're actually talking about the Region 2 Tartan release, which this is the NC-17 version. I have heard there's a cut version out too, but I don't know why you'd waste your time.
No.
But I mean, it definitely packs a punch. And I don't know. It's just I just can't say enough about it. I mean, if you're into like the real life horror films, you know, like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, or you know, even the August Underground, stuff like that. I mean, this is right up the alley.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, and this movie really set the standard for a lot of films to come after it. Blair Witch Project definitely took heavily from this, and another one more recently would be Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, which it's basically the same premise, but this is more cinematic.
More fun. That's a lot more fun.
Yeah, this is more of a fun movie, and I could probably watch this one. I know I could watch this movie more than Man Bites Dog, but Man Bites Dog is probably the better of the two films, just from a filmmaking standpoint.
Oh yeah, and this was shot on film, you know, of course, and black and white, and it's very cinema verite. It's like almost like a documentary, and you know, most of it's not statically shot. There's no, like, it's not on a tripod. The camera's not. It's mostly handheld, very jarring, and you know, that helps keep with the pace of the movie. And the filmmaker said during the documentary they wanted to present a subjective point of view, like you are traveling along with this killer committing these atrocious acts.
Yeah.
And you're a voyeuristic part of this nightmare. That's what they said during the interview on the film too. And you know, I mean, being a filmmaker myself, I try to be. I just think that definitely that movie holds up to a lot of high standards.
Yeah, and it's also has a very like art house quality to it, you know. And there's certain scenes that I haven't seen other people do before. Like there's a scene where they're showing talking to the killer and you can't hear him. You're wondering what happened to the sound, and all of a sudden you notice in the background the sound man coming around. He's got the boom mic coming around. As he gets closer, you can hear the sound slowly fade in. It's really awesome how they did that.
Yeah.
And you know, I think around the midpoint of the film is where the film really changes tones and gets a lot more disturbing. As they're in a warehouse shooting some stuff, the sound man actually gets killed, and from there it takes a much more darker tone. And from there also, you know, the documentary film crew, they actually start participating in this, and it slowly gets more and more crazy as it goes. And there's one scene in it that's one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever seen, and it's where they do a home invasion. They bust into this home, and a man and wife, they're doing it on the kitchen table, and they knock the guy out of the way, and they start gang raping the woman. And I mean, they're just like having fun and laughing while they're doing it. It's very disturbing. It's
everybody, the film crew's in on it too, and they're enjoying it.
It's,
you know, it's like
wild.
First they start out and they're just viewers, and you know, then this guy slowly gets them involved in his murderous exploits, and then they start enjoying it. They start liking doing these depraved acts. And then the other home invasion scene, like with the there's a husband, wife, and then this little kid. Well, he breaks into the home and he murders the wife as soon as he gets in. He finds the husband in the bathroom. He just boom, busts his head on the sink.
Yeah, right in the sink.
Right in the sink. And then there's this very like. Then he just like slowly puts the boom mic right up to his neck and slowly breaks it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And another thing that's amazing about this is this movie was shot on no budget. The filmmakers actually used their own money to shoot it, and all of the actors, they're actually the actors in the film, the three filmmakers, and they're using their real names. And everybody else, all the other players in the film, the other characters, they're all friends that they had from their film school. And I mean, it's just truly amazing at how well this film turned out. I mean, it's, you know, from a filmmaking standpoint, you know, it's just superb and so far above, you know, a lot of other movies out there. And it won several awards at the Sundance Film Festival, Cannes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a really different movie, you know, and we both would highly recommend checking this out if it's, you know, if you can find it. But
it is harder to find. I don't think there's been an official release.
No, well, yeah, but it's just been a while and it's out of print. It's so hard to find. I mean, they definitely need to get this movie out. You know, a lot of people don't know about this, and I think a lot of filmmakers out there that's made movies since then would be afraid of people to see this because it shows how unoriginal their pieces actually are.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this film is,
especially nowadays,
it's definitely a groundbreaker. I mean, for me, I don't think it would have a very high replay value. It's very hard to take. But I mean, it's a type of film that you'll see and it'll stick with you, and it definitely makes its impact, and it definitely has its own distinct voice.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about too. Like how after watching it, I felt this like lingering feeling, just like I felt watching the August Undergrounds. Not to that level, I would say, but
yeah, August Underground's probably more disturbing than this because it's even more, you know,
biting.
Yeah, visceral and in your face. This is also, but you know, this has a lot of underlying social commentary. You know,
tons, yeah.
And you know, like he talks about nature and society and just mankind, and it's just
about like I mean, like how he kills and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it is, yeah, it does have commentary on human nature, I'd say.
Yeah.
And about human nature, basically.
But yeah, I think we both highly recommend this, and you know, we're gonna have to be wrapping this up, but that's it. That's Man Bites Dog, and we appreciate you guys watching. And this is the World of Horror. I'm the Fiend of Grue. This is Krazy J. See you guys around.